All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here for the what's this, the second take. So let's try and get it right this time. Okay, we're going to start on the FX market, and then we'll work our way through to the I was going to say more interesting markets, but every market had interesting moves this week. So stay tuned, and we'll try and kind of peel it apart and see what sense we can make of it for next week. Okay, this is euro dollar. This is what I'm working with right now. And there are a few different interpretations as per usual. Okay, for the moment, I'm working with this five-wave pattern to the downside. I'm calling it a wave one. This would be wave one of C. So this is a large B wave here. You can see an A, B, C pattern up into wave B at 125.61, and then looking for a five-wave decline into wave C. Now, we've got hopefully, possibly, wave one done with a three-wave pattern, expanded flat wave two underway. We were looking for this rally in a possible C wave. The minimum target was 112.40 or so. We've hit that today. So the next significant level of resistance is 118.25. Well, there's another smaller level in here at about 114.20. So we've got a couple of levels to get by before we start hitting that 118 level. I'm not sure we make that level because that is the previous fourth wave, but I'm not sure we make that level given the severity of the rally so far this week. I mean, this is the biggest move in euro dollar in 1 week probably since last April. So over almost a year, biggest single move in euro dollar. Okay, so I'm calling this a C wave, wave C of 2, and there are other ways to interpret this. This could also be a larger wave B underway. So if it's a case that it's a larger wave B, then we would have, if you can see the trend channel here, an ABC pattern up to about 128 or 130 to complete. Now, how would we discern between those two moves? Well, a lot would depend on the reaction of the high here. If this is wave C, then we will move impulsively off this high down into a third wave. If this is actually only wave one of a larger wave C, so this would be wave C of B. If this was a wave one of C of B, well, then we would move correctively off this high. So next week we want to discern whether this is going to be a corrective move off the high or whether it'll be an impulsive move off the high. For the moment, my money is on an impulsive move lower. Let's get into the 4-hour chart. You can see the severity of the rally into today's high is, well, so far viewed as wave C. So if we move impulsively off that high in 5 waves, most especially if we break, let's say, that 107.70 level again, well, that would pretty much confirm that a larger wave 3 was underway. So next week, we want to figure out what sort of a price action is developing off the high here. Is it impulsive to the downside or is it corrective to the downside? All right, move on to cable. Finally, we're moving higher in cable. The current wave count is calling this wave 1 bracket, wave 2 bracket. So it could be wave 1 at 1 degree higher also. It could be wave 1 in green here, square brackets, and wave 2 in square brackets. So I had been thinking that this decline was corrective. So far this week, we're moving higher. We're beginning to take out the previous interim highs. So let's get into the hourly chart there. So I'm viewing this as wave C. We just took out tipped above the previous 130.18 high. And we should be moving later today. We should move above that 130.70 high there, the previous high. How can we view this? Wave C is expected to hit 132.87. So this could be a 1, 2, 1, 2. This could be a third wave within a third wave of wave C. So that we could have some kind of a series of kind of corrections and further rallies to play out within this C wave. So we'll know by probably Monday evening, Tuesday, well, probably Tuesday evening next week, whether this is wave C and whether it completes at target or not. For the rest of the day, I would like to see it, kind of step higher in a series of corrections and further moves higher. So 132.87 is the target for wave C. Let's see how that plays out early next week, and then we most likely move down into a third wave. Alrighty. Dollar yen. Dollar yen is challenging the current interpretation for wave B here in this triangle, and I'll get into that in a second. Actually, I'll get into it right now. This is the daily chart. This is the triangle I'm charting in wave B. So this is wave A high here, way back in 2015, and ever since that we've been kind of this very long, drawn out range contraction that's been going on. So I'm counting it as a triangle A, B, wave C into that 104.40 low, wave D into the recent high, and then wave E underway. Now, if we break 104.45 and then turn higher again, well, then this new low will take the wave C label, and then we'll just work on with the range contraction in wave D and E. In general, I think we are approaching the next rally phase in wave C, larger wave C there, but we need to clear out these the ending moves in this triangle, and it just doesn't seem like we're there yet, especially if we break 104.45. So early next week, or for the rest of the day, this is Friday, so for the rest of Friday and early next week, I would like to see that 104.45 hold, and I would like to see this wave E to be complete right now. But if that 104.45 breaks, well, then we'll have to switch to this alternate account for wave C, and we move on to wave D and E. Okay, let's get on to the stock market. So this is the Dow. This is the recent plunge down in wave 1 of what will most likely be wave 1 of 1. And the larger wave 1 will probably break below that 21,000 level again. Excuse me. Before we get a larger correction. So it's a series of shoulders. There's the left kind of shoulder that took over a year. This right-hand shoulder, well, I don't think it'll take as long, but it could take the next few months once we have wave 1 down done. Yeah, so we're just going to work step by step. Looks like we've got wave 1 at a lower degree. So let's actually see if we can. Let's get a wave 1 in there. Wave 1 and wave 2. So this is the pattern I'm working with, a wave 1 and wave 2 to the downside before falling into a large acceleration in wave 3. And that acceleration is going to bring bankruptcies. That's what that's going to bring. The initial raft of bankruptcies in a new bear market will be brought by wave 3 down. And that'll probably come because it won't be the old established companies, most likely. It'll be this new raft of, social media companies and, venture funds. These venture funds will probably go broke. They won't be able to roll over debt. There'll be kind of drawdowns from their investor base. We've already seen it with WeWork. We've already seen it with, the way Uber is continually losing money. They seem to be able to let's say, fool the next, or bring in the next fool for the moment. But I think this third wave down will evaporate the pool of fools and get rid of a lot of those kind of new wave of zombie companies. And then, once the bear market establishes itself next year or so, then we'll start to wipe out into the larger economy. But the unsustainable stuff will go first, obviously. So wave 1 and 2, that's what we're working on right now. Let's get into the 4-hour chart. We've got wave 1 down, nice 5-wave pattern. We're looking for this dead cat bounce, and that's what we've been working on for the last week. So we've got wave A up. It looks like we've got an expanded flat wave B done, and we'll rally in wave C next week. The alternate count would view this previous high here as wave 2, and then we're moving down into wave 3, but I'm not going to jump on that boat just yet. So let's get into, this is the hourly count that we've been working on this week. Looks like 3 waves up in wave A, an A, B, C expanded flat wave 2, or sorry, wave B, and then we'll get a rally in wave C for the first half of next week, most likely. So I would like to finish wave 2 by next week, by the end of next week, and then work on wave 3 down. But step by step. You can see the alternate count here. We've got. You could say that this was a slight new high in this B wave. I'm showing it as an expanded flat, but you could call that the ABC of wave 2. Excuse me. I'm not buying that right now. I'm going to go with the larger wave 2 pattern, and we should probably move up between this band of fourth waves here, up towards 28,000 again, in a C wave. So this C wave should trace out 5 waves, and of course, most likely we'll have at the top of this wave 2, we'll probably have an even more bullish media and investor base at that wave 2 high than we even had at the all-time high. So wave 2 usually brings out the last vestiges of the bullish previous rally. So wave 3 down should kill them completely. Okay, so 3-wave pattern up in wave 2, and then we move down into wave 3. So I have to stick around next week in the nightly updates and see how that plays out. Okay, so this is gold, and I'm beginning to look at that alternate count again. We're up at a double top high right now. We're looking for a rally in wave B, but this rally in wave B has extended. It can still be counted as an A, B, and an extension in wave C, and then we would expect a decline again in the larger wave C to complete wave 4. But you could, with the alternate count here, you could view this as wave 3 and 4 complete, and a new impulse pattern building off that low. So we've got, if you were to view this as the alternate count, it would be wave 1, 2, extended wave 3, some sort of a correction early next week, Monday, Tuesday maybe, and then a further rally in wave, well, that'll be wave 4, and then a further rally in wave 5 of 1. And if we get that, well, then we'll switch to the more bullish alternate count. So that would view a wave 1, 2 rally as the next leg up in wave 5. Actually, if you go to, we should have started on the, let's get to the daily chart here. You can see here we've got a series of 2 different bullish counts. The recent decline has been fully retraced now. So in general, the bullish count is still in play. But the alternate count is still as likely. Here on the daily chart, you can see that we've got a series of 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 patterns, and then this would be a large third wave up. So that'd be a third of 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 so many thirds, and the rally would continue. In that case, we would break 2,000 no problem. In the current case here, I'm viewing a rally in a large third wave. So all of this move here off that 1120 low, all of this move here would be within wave 3 in brackets. So this would be wave 1 of 3, wave 2 of 3, wave 3 into the recent high, wave 4, and then wave 5 coming or possibly underway already. Now let's get into the the hourly chart again. 4-hour chart doesn't tell us a whole lot there. Only the possibility that wave 4 is already complete. So we've got wave 3 high, ABC down in wave A or wave 4, but 3 waves down in A, possible 3 waves up still in B. So I'm going with a conservative count at the moment, expecting another 5-wave decline in wave C. So that would complete a larger wave 4 pattern, and then we would rally in wave 5, with the caveat of the alternate count still there. Okay. Let's get into crude oil. Here's the 4-hour count of crude oil. We're falling again today. We're expecting this decline to continue after a three-wave correction earlier on in the week. The action at the top here in midweek was not very impulsive to the downside, but still allowing for that decline to come in, and that's what's happened. Broke to a slight new low this morning, but this decline in wave 5 should continue. If this is wave 3, let's get out to the daily chart. So if this is wave 3 here of 3, then we should close below. We should probably push towards $40 in short order. So let's see how that plays out. There is an alternate count here for a larger second wave. So in that sense, this could be wave A up. I'll actually get my little marker out for this. That could be wave A up. This could be all a B wave, and we'd see a rally in wave C. I don't favor that right now, but you can see how it could play out. So that would be wave A up. This would be one or A, B, C, wave B, and then we get a rally into wave C again. That would bring us up to about the $70 mark again before falling down into a third wave. But like I said, each step, one step at a time. Let's work with the initial wave count. So the third wave, a large third wave down would be wave 1, 2, wave 3 in blue is what we're working on right now. It's been impulsive. It's been pretty much a wipeout of everything that's happened over the last, plus that almost 14 months now, 15 months, or sorry, 14 months up into the highs, and then that's been a wipeout. What's happened in the last few weeks in crude oil should send fear down the backs of the Saudis and anybody else who's relying on oil revenues. Okay, so if this is wave 3 down, we should be tracing out a clear 5-wave pattern. Because we're making new lows today, well, then I think this could be wave 3 extending or wave 5 extending. So I'll show you that in a second. The hourly chart shows us here as the recent low is wave 1, wave 2, and now working on wave 3. Possibly. I'm also quite happy with the alternate count here. This could be wave 3 low, wave 4 high, and then we'll extend lower into a wave 5 of 3. And wave 5 of 3 could be could see us down below $40. In both scenarios, it should see us down below $40. But I do like the fact that we've initial resistance held this week, and now we're moving impulsively lower again. So this could be wave 3 low, and we could be working on a series of 4th and 5th waves to the downside. Again, we'll just have to see how the early trade goes next week. Well, we have the rest of the day in the US to play out as well, so check back tonight for tonight's update to see how that played out. But in general, a series of 4th and 5th waves should bring us lower, and I am looking below $40 in this larger wave 3 in blue here. Okay, the S&P, we're looking good so far as a possible B wave. So this goes wave 1 down in blue, just like the Dow. An ABC pattern in wave 2 should probably bring us up to about the 3,200 level again before falling into wave 3. The hourly chart looks like same alternate count here. We could have wave 2 in place. That's 3 waves up, so that could be wave 2 in place. But I'm calling it, for the moment, I'm calling it wave A, with an ABC down in wave B, and then a rally in wave C. The alternate count would see if further declines break below that 2853 level, probably break below 20, push towards 2750 or something in 5 waves down in wave 1. So I have to keep an eye on that next week as well. But there are a certain amount of, let's say, hurdles that we need to get over in order for that alternate count to become more of a reality. For the moment, working on this larger 3-wave pattern in wave 2, and then we'll work lower again into wave 3. So far, so good. We'll see how the rest of the day goes. I think wave B should find a low today on Friday and then maybe cause the initial spike higher into wave C. But we'll see how that plays out. The alternate count is still hanging there in the background. Okay, so let's get on to silver. Here's a 4-hour chart in silver. I'm calling that recent low or a low to come. Wave 2 in red here. And you can see on the daily chart how I'm playing that out. Off the extreme lows, I'm going wave 1, 2, wave 1, 2. So this could be wave 1, 2, or sorry, initial impulse move up in a larger third wave. So for our chart shows you the 3-wave correction in wave 2. So we've got wave 1 up, A, B, C, correction wave 2. So what I'm tracking right now is the completion of this C wave here before we rally again in wave 3. And wave C should, we're getting close to pushing towards the more bullish alternate, but for the moment I'm still tracking 5 waves down. This, if we turn around before hitting 1780 today and we turn lower again, a spike lower, that will be the beginning of wave 5. But if we don't, we could be working with the alternate 1-2 pattern, and that would be pretty exciting actually for next week. So we would see a 1-2 pattern to the upside before a rally in wave 3 of 1. Okay, that closes out. I'm not going to do bonds today because my Admiral Markets is failing me. We'll just have to see how that plays out next week. So that closes out this week's video. Thanks for all the subscribers for being with me throughout the week. Praise the Lord for you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend. God bless you all, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Be good. And for those of you who are not subscribers, get onto the website and get involved. Okay, that's not a hard sell, is it? I'm terrible with hard sells. I should probably work on that. Okay, have a good one. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.